Well, I at least figured out that problem. The pedal doesn't work, but we're doing a live update really quick to take a look at some storms that are still trying to fire off out there in the Delta. This was an area that we wanted to watch for the potential for some stronger storms to occur. I'll pull up the chat here behind the screens. We made sure to always look at it, even though it's not here on the big screen all the time, but we have it pulled up 24/7. So we wanted to take a look at these storms out pretty much just along I-55 or further out west. As they're continuing to fire up, this is going to be the zone to watch for any particular showers and storms to be on the stronger side. And since wrapping up, haven't really seen these stop. So I wanted to keep our eyes on that here. I'm not seeing anything behind the scenes at this moment in time. But let's take a look here at what we call echo tops. This is something that we hit on a little bit earlier. And it kind of shows you how tall the cloud is. And honestly, I was going to say that this seemed a little bit stronger than the storms that we see out here and closer towards Greenwood. But if we look at our echo tops, we're actually seeing taller clouds or kind of vertical developments at the top of the clouds higher up on the Greenwood storm than we are out there in Batesville. So these are two storms that I want to continue to watch. We're talking about 50,000 feet out there, as you can see in the red. Thankfully, have not seen it get warned, but we are talking about special weather statements, which wasn't the case earlier, but unfortunately is the case now, meaning these storms are kind of right on the brink of it, but we're not seeing it just completely yet. So 45,000 feet for north, 50,000 closer down towards Greenwood. So I would say that even though these aren't warned, they can still kind of be a little bit strong. Let me make sure I have the good radar on. I don't know which one I'm looking at here. Let's change to Memphis and see if that changes anything. And we'll do echo tops. Oh. Well, that's just not impressive, at least with that one. Let's see here. Maybe I need to do it this way, Memphis, to change it with our Memphis radar site. And then can we click echo tops, or is it pulling it from a different one? No, I still think the one further on south's a little bit taller. So I don't know. I'll keep my eyes on that. We could take a look at 3D, of course, and see kind of how these storms are developing with our radar, which we're looking out of our Memphis one. So that's kind of why we can see it coming at an angle. Let's just change it to, or actually, no. Which one are we looking out of? Sorry, it's been a hectic day. If I had to guess, that's in Memphis based off how those are coming through. So we're still kind of seeing that vertical development on these showers and storms, still trying to kind of feed off of remaining energy. Comments are starting to come back on. Do you think the National Weather Service will keep just issuing special weather statements since the storms are right on the verge of being severe? Nonstop lightning in Water Valley. I'm never going to get to sleep in Sardis tonight, it seems like. Well, we're going to get you to sleep here fairly quickly, I promise. Let's just kind of recap what's going on, especially for you guys out there towards Sardis. That's where we're kind of seeing one of those stronger storms, and I'm curious to see if they warn that. I think once this moves out of your area, you're going to be good to go throughout the rest of the night. We were just kind of talking about one more batch trying to kind of start up here, so we're kind of seeing that out here towards Batesville and Cortland, and we can take a look with our Batesville camera. That should still be online. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, nonstop lightning. We're feeling cooler. 72 degrees feels like 68. Northerly winds blowing in around 16 miles per hour. Bright flashes of lightning. So still disruptive storms. Thankfully, not quite at severe. I know William back here in the chat, he was mentioning the special weather statements. I'm glad you mentioned that. So what they have for those special weather statements, they have the wind up to 50. And I think technically they could go up to 55 if they really wanted to. So we're still around 8 miles per hour off from these becoming severe. me personally, and I think all of North Mississippi would like to kind of see the special weather statements to continue and not have to do with severe thunderstorm warnings. So hopefully we can continue to see that trend. Looks like we have Adrian tuning in on YouTube saying, I appreciate you, Caleb, as someone who has an unimaginable fear or an unmanageable fear of storms. Y'all really help me stay sane. Well, of course, that is exactly why we do it here. We want to make sure to make you feel better. Okay, it looks like yes, Adrian, you were the one that said Sardis earlier. So we're going to continue to monitor these storms for you guys out there. Unfortunately, they just kind of continue to kick out the last little bit that they can. I would just say, I don't know. I'm curious to see kind of how these storms continue to feed off. Let's see if we have any boundaries that they're trying to latch onto. I mean, the past few scans, I mean, it's still very impressive. Let me kind of look behind the scenes here, get my bearings. Yeah. I mean, especially for you, Adrian, and Sardis, that storm's moving southeast. So you're hearing all these lightning strikes as it kind of probably just formed on top of you guys and has since moved on out. So that was that heavy band that moved on through. That's probably waking you up if you were already peacefully asleep. And I'm still kind of seeing the latest scans continue to show that it's strengthening. But that's going to continue, of course, digging in that southeast direction, kind of outside of the county and further and further southeast, as we just saw with that latest updated scan. So if it makes you feel any better, I would say go back to sleep out there in Sardis. You're good to go throughout the rest of the night. Of course, you're going to hear a few rumbles, see those flashes of lightning outside of your window, but it continues to move further and further away from you, if that helps you feel any better. Meteorologist Caleb Edelblut, send to Randolph, we need the rain. I think that's been another topic here in North Mississippi. We've always needed the rainfall. It's much needed. We just hate that the severe weather kind of comes with it as well. So we're going to continue to take a look at that here as these storms continue to stay sub-severe, but just wanted to hop on at least for a few minutes. We'll probably keep going until 11 o'clock, or at least when those initial special weather statements expire, which I think within the next 26 minutes, so around 11:15. So we'll probably keep going till 11 or a little bit shortly after, especially if they don't issue any more. They seem to kind of be holding off, which I do like that approach. They're not kind of jumping to warn these, but we just really wanted to hop on to keep you guys updated, even though they are sub-severe. So we're taking a look at it with our Memphis radar site, and we probably want to keep looking. Let's take a look at our threats here. Yeah, I mean, the one in Batesville is probably trying to drop some hail. I'm just overall really not impressed with the hail so far tonight. We have not seen many reports. The only reports I have seen have been through the comments, and that's when you were saying that it was pea-sized hail. I can't remember who it was. It may have been Kelsey, I think was her name. She was saying that the only hail she saw was pea-sized. And let me move this out of the way. Excuse me here while I try to fix this. I don't want to accidentally send this to commercial break. The fly's still landing on me. But yeah, we're just dealing with, I think, heavy rain and just disruptive storms with those lightning strikes just nonstop. Let's see if we can get maybe another shot. Let's see what Lafayette County out here in Oxford has to show us. And James might still be up moving the cameras. Oh, I forgot this one's down. We might just have to go back to Batesville to keep an eye on that. We're looking out here in Crenshaw. We can see some of those thunderstorms out there in the distance. I wonder if we're looking at the ones south east, but I feel like that lightning would be a little bit closer. Are we looking at something a little bit further away? Crenshaw. Let's see what direction we're looking at. We're looking south. So if I were to move this over a bit. There we go. There's the closer lightning. More to the left of our screen as we can look a little bit southeast. Yep. We're getting a better shot on that storm. Unfortunately, it's still just going to be energetic. I like that it's not, as constant as kind of what we've seen past few nights, but of course, I mean, we're still seeing them every kind of 5 seconds or so. Let's see. What did we have? James. Oh, Justin telling me don't forget your car keys tonight. I will not. You know what? Because I'm going to keep coverage going and I know I'll get tired. Let me put my car keys on my wallet, and what's something I can't leave without? I'm going to put my car keys in my wallet, and I'm putting them right next to the door. So they are sitting over here. I am not getting locked out, and I know both Gabe and his wife will be very appreciative about me keeping my keys on me and not having to wake them up in the middle of the night. So appreciate that reminder, Justin. And he's also saying that these storms are still sub-severe. So that continues to be a positive. But we just wanted to come on and monitor it. Definitely make sure that these continue to behave themselves. Still very energetic, but I mean, I think we're going to keep going for the next 8 minutes. I'll keep going until 11. If we don't see anything really develop, we'll probably cut it off again. Oh my gosh. We have somebody commenting on YouTube. We are in Guntown, been out of power for 4 hours now. That is just unfortunate. I will say that the unfortunate part with power outages, I know some of you guys were commenting about it earlier on throughout the broadcast. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with kind of the ice storm timing on bringing back the power back online, but unfortunately, with just how many outages continue to climb and get reported, the EPA is just to have more on their plate to do tonight than they have throughout their Wednesday and Thursday so far. So I would expect power to continue getting closer and closer to getting back on for you guys. Hopefully y'all are waking up to it again tomorrow morning. But I know EPAs are doing their absolute hardest, as they have been doing all week long, to get you guys back online. So I'm so sorry to hear that, but I hope y'all are a bit closer to getting that back on. Thundering in Grenada now. Wind is picking back up. That was Courtney tuning in and commenting that. Nonstop lightning in Calhoun City, Mississippi. What's up here? We can go take a look at that. We're looking at nonstop lightning further off in the distance. And real quick, Adrian saying, yes, Panola has been out for about the same amount of time, at least where I'm at, but 2 houses down, and the rest of the way does have power. It's teasing us. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Certain grids all connect with each other. Once you kind of fix one, you could fix almost 100, and there are a few more isolated outages. So we're going to continue to see that while more strikes continue to rain on down, potentially causing some more outages here. I know somebody was asking about Calhoun and Grenada, so we'll go take a look at that here. Let's continue to use our Memphis radar as these storms are kind of closer to you guys. I'm surprised that you're hearing a bunch of thunder, at least seeing flashes of lightning out there in Calhoun City. Y'all are still staying pretty dry. It might be some storms out there in the distance that you're seeing kind of flash through the window maybe, but hopefully it's not too loud, as it still has a ways to go until it gets to y'all. And then out here in Grenada, y'all are starting to get some of those showers and storms at this moment in time, but we're not seeing anything get warned. And I'll just keep going for a little bit so we can see. But yeah, I really just don't think we're going to see that just quite yet. And we can take another look at kind of the latest scans to see if it's maybe tried to start downtrending a little bit. I will say, I mean, lightning continues to decrease. That's a positive. Looks like somebody else commenting, any update on power situation in Tish? Unfortunately, I do not have an update on when they will come back. I can let you know how many people are out right now, and I'll pull that up here in a second. Brittany saying, Dennis, Mississippi, also in the dark. The kids enjoy camping in the living room. Well, I'll say that's probably going to be a childhood memory for them. I know they're going to soak up every second of that. So glad you're keeping the kiddos safe. I know they're probably enjoying kind of a little fun night with the parents out in the living room. I'll say, even as like a weather nerd growing up, I loved those nights. They were kind of special, and I think my siblings did too. So those are sweet moments. Let's take a look at power outages, because you guys keep asking for updates on that, rightfully so. These are going to be the numbers. So out there in Tish, we're, at least through our software, we're still talking about around 1,500 or more And I think, unfortunately, that's right about kind of where we were last time when we started looking at it. So on the bright side, the numbers are not climbing. So they're becoming more stable, but everybody's going to continue to kind of work to get those outages back online for you guys. 2,000 out there in Marshall, 1,000 in DeSoto. I mean, we're still dealing with quite a few outages all across North Mississippi, unfortunately. So I hope that kind of helps you guys see how many we're dealing with. That also means the EPAs are dealing with this many, so they're going to continue struggling, but working very hard. 4,500 or more out there in Marion. So still having to deal with that. Joy, you brought up a great question. You asked, what's the little purple and white circles? That is a kind of a storm report that came in earlier out there in Tennessee, and that is the only hail report that we have seen. That was hail up to an inch. Of course, it says an inch, quarter-sized hail up in Stantonville. That was around 625. So that is why, I mean, you could see a whole lot of blue. These are kind of your wind, tree, kind of storm reports. And the purple here is hail. And we only see one compared to a whole lot of blue, meaning hail has been our primary threat. We saw that earlier on tonight, and hail just really, really continues to struggle. So that's why I'm just really not confident, or at least I'm not concerned about the hail threat as much as I am with kind of some gusty winds and what we saw earlier. And I'm confident on not being confident on that hail. So if that's kind of an oxymoron or however to phrase it. So, Caleb, can you put a projection track on the western storms? Of course I can. I'll do it for both because I don't know which cluster you would like me to look at, but you reminded me that I need to do this for all of them. So thank you so much for mentioning that. Let's take a look. If we're not already, I want to make sure it's, yeah, it was Memphis. Bring that back on. And then we'll take a look at the overall direction and how these continue to move. And I mean, they're not going to be moving that quick. Let's just actually measure this out perfectly for you guys. That way we can give you all an accurate trend. So they're right around Taylor. And we're going to remember that. And over the hour, they started kind of outside of Sardis and kind of developed. So we're talking about, I mean, right about here to Taylor. So maybe 35. And they're probably trying to speed up just a little bit. So we'll go 35 to 40 here on that track. And we'll, oh, well, there goes the severe thunderstorm warning. Well, there we go. This is why we came on, just in case they decided to misbehave. Let's go back to right now, and then we'll cover that warning. And let me find my button. There we go. I've been clicking a bunch tonight, unfortunately. And let me send out a push alert too really quick. So sorry, guys. Bear with me here. I want to try to get everybody else in the stream as they've been put under severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, there we go. Thunderstorm warning. I'm not spelling things correct. Okay, that should send out to you guys shortly, and then we'll do the storm track, and then we'll go cover that severe thunderstorm warning. Which I thought I saw, right? Did I just lie? Did y'all see that? Oh my gosh, it was back. I'm so sorry. Well, I am so sorry for everybody that's probably tuning in. I think I backed it up an hour, and that's what we saw. Well, shucks. So sorry to anybody else that I woke up and you guys tuned in. Was it back an hour? Where did I see that? I thought I briefly saw that warning. Yeah, no warning. Okay, well, Justin looks like he thought he saw it briefly. Interesting. Well, okay, for everybody tuning in that I just sent out that notification for, there is actually no warning out there in the Delta. I think it just kind of briefly popped up, and I may have saw something an hour ago. Oh, that's what it was. It was, now we're at 11:01. So it was, yes, okay, William's pointing it out too. I think we went all the way back to 10 o'clock right when it expired. So that is what we briefly saw. I'm so sorry, guys. I wanted to send that out to make sure you guys had the heads up, but thankfully we are not dealing with that. We're just dealing with special weather statements. So for any of you guys tuning in out in the Delta that got that notification, y'all are still good. We're dealing with some of these storms, but they at this time remain subsevere. This fly is still here, guys, in case y'all can't tell. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to track this, as it has taken me a while for me to get back to that here. So let me do that for you guys out here towards Lafayette. And we'll kind of just extend it a little bit further south as some of those other showers are starting up. I think 40 might be a little bit too quick. We'll still go around 35. And then we'll read this out to you guys. That way that can help you guys feel a little bit better. Switch this up. A little bit too little for me. So, all right, we'll start with this one. Water Valley around 11:03 to Toccopola around 11:29, Bruce 11:35, Pittsboro 11:36, Algoma 11:51, and Vardaman around 11:53. So hopefully those are the landmarks that make it a little bit easier for other communities. We're talking about Rolling Woods at 11:03. Same for Velma. Water Valley at 11:03 as well. Palestine 11:05. Delay around 11:13. Paris 11:14. Pine Valley 11:16. Tula around 11:18. Schooner around 11:24. Dogtown 11:25. Banner 11:28. Same for Ellard. Spring Hill 11:29. And Toccopola around 11:29 as well. So there we go with that storm track. We're going to do another one just kind of further out here as some of these showers are kind of getting going for you guys. Clear that off. So for you guys kind of along Grenada, this will kind of give you guys, again, it's not going to be perfect because it's a little bit more disorganized out there, which is a good sight to see. But we're talking about Hurricane Branch and Turkey Creek right about now. Gums 11:06, Duck Hill 11:06, Choctaw around 11:07, Gums Crossing 11:07, Gore Springs 11:10. Same for New Hope and Spearman. Fly just flew in my eye. Emory around 11:11, Eskridge 11:11. Wiltshire around 11:13, Lilac around 11:14, Benwood 11:14, and Sweatman around 11:17. And we're going to change this. The fly's going to make me mad. It keeps just buzzing up in my face. There we go. All right. Duck Hill 11:06, Winona 11:19, Kilmichael 11:34, Calhoun City 11:37, Derma 11:39, Eupora 11:48, French Camp at 11:56, and Ethel at 11:58. So there we go with the latest storm track. Hopefully that kind of helps you guys feel a little bit better. You guys tuning up. Justin saying he's also up watching and tracking as well. You were replying to somebody. How is Amory tonight? Y'all are good to go pretty much throughout the rest of the overnight period. Y'all are going to pretty much stay dry. We kind of just see these last batch of showers and storms continuing to ring across North Mississippi, but we're really not dealing with anything severe at this moment. Just kind of wanted to hop on and go live in case they ended up going severe. And we've been on the past maybe 15 minutes now and have not seen that. So that continues to be a positive. In fact, we don't even see a special weather statement for this storm further up north. We actually see them for down here. And those look less impressive than what we see further up north. So I'm not expecting those to continue for too much longer. Those seem to continue dying on out. And lightning strikes continue to decrease as well. Because if we put this on a loop for an hour, and now I'll move out of the way so you guys can kind of see. We're at 687 within this frame. Yeah. And we were up just shy of 1,000 an hour ago. So those continue to decrease. That makes me feel a lot more confident that these storms don't really have too much left in them. So Brittany, Amory, y'all are sitting good. I mean, we could maybe see some of these showers and storms really try to cross the entire area. But we're really not dealing with that same level of intensity that y'all dealt with earlier on tonight. So if y'all were to get this, it's going to be more of that sleeping weather, maybe a rumble or crack of thunder to kind of wake up to. That's what I know growing up, going to school the next day, it'd be like, did you wake up to that? Oh, it was so loud. And that was about it. So that's kind of what we're expecting throughout the rest of the overnight period. And catch up on any more chats. Just a heads up, Winona Skycam's still down. Thank you, James. That is a really cool tie. Is that Lisa, I hope I'm reading that right. Thank you. My sister gave this tie to me for Christmas, so I always like to wear it for days where I'll know I'll be tracking out some storms. I think it's always fitting. So we have the suspenders, the lightning tie. It's been very energetic. But I appreciate you for reaching out. That was my sister that got it to me. So it's one of my favorite ones. Destiny tuning in asking, can you show future radar? Of course. Let me pull that up here behind the scenes. Especially since y'all are tuning in late at night. I know y'all would like to see kind of what we're going to expect throughout the rest of the overnight period. And let me make sure this is pulling in the latest. This is. So we're starting off at around 11 o'clock. Delete that. Okay. So overall, placement not too bad, but we're still dealing with some lingering moisture and showers in our area. It's going to continue to dig further and further south, maybe a little bit heavier out there towards Grenada. But we're already dealing with some of those showers, so maybe a little bit behind. Amory, I know you guys were asking about what to expect throughout the rest of the overnight hours. You are still fine dealing with some of those showers later on in the Golden Triangle region, but this is what models have been picking up on pretty consistently. Just some stronger showers and storms kind of moving in at around 3 o'clock. And again, I don't want to overhype it, but I just want to say that this is the area that just continues to see more and more storm chances by that 3 to 4 o'clock time frame. So if we were to see anything maybe a little bit more heavy or stronger, it's going to be for you guys out there in the southern portions of the Delta right around 3 a.m. But the rest of North Mississippi looks fine all the way up until Sunday morning and continuing into the rest of your day. So hopefully that helps you feel a little bit better. Destiny, I know you were asking about future radar. What about Houston? I thought we were done for the night. Yes, basically everybody here in North Mississippi is pretty much done for the night. And what we're kind of looking at here are just last minute showers and storms that continue to kind of rumble and just be a little bit energetic here. And there we go with all our storm reports. I'm curious to see what this one is. Hail, okay, just shy of an inch out there, just south of Water Valley, kind of in the Coffeyville region. That was around 7:43. So again, we're really not seeing hail meet up to an inch. But as far as you guys kind of asking whether or not y'all are done, we have gone through the peak intensity of these storms. We went through a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. We've dealt with several at one time all across our region. We're dealing with 0 right now. There is the chance that maybe we could see 1 or 2 more kind of throughout the 3 a.m. timeframe for the southern portions of the Delta. But this is just your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms that continue to move on through. They continue to stay sub-severe. In fact, the special weather statements out there in the southern portions of the Delta expire in 5 minutes. So when that expires, if I don't see any more get issued, and even then, I think it's just going to be, I think we're going to be fine. Justin saying, kill that fly. I need it gone. I'm as soon as I wrap this up, I'm just going to search for it and either try to shoo it out. My friend just texted me saying, someone get that fly out of Caleb's face. It's annoying me. So that was Samuel, by the way. If any of you guys wanted to know, I'll give him a shout out. So you are more than welcome to come up here and help me get the fly out of here. He's a hunter. He should know how to do all that. Corey saying, could you check the weather for me? Scobie, Mississippi, and tell me what it says. I have no internet. Okay, can some of y'all help them out in the chat? Are you able to watch here? And if not, I can try to bring it up here for Scobie if you're able to watch. It says you have no internet. But if you're able to pull it up or like you're watching, I know you're in the chat right now. I can go look at Scobie for you. Let me make sure, because that should be in the Sardis area, just south on I-55. Let me see. Yeah, okay, just north of Grenada. And that's actually kind of close to where some hail occurred earlier today. Okay, so you are, yeah, kind of right in this area. Y'all are fine. Nikki saying, give the fly some suspenders. It's part of the weather fly family now. I think it is. I think he'll be around for the severe weather coverage. Faith saying, thank you for all you do, keeping us safe. Of course, thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot to us. And yes, to get back to Corey, you were asking, could you check the weather for me? Scobie, Mississippi, tell me what it says. I have no internet. I'm assuming since you're in the live stream, you should be able to hear all of this. If not, somebody can relay this message in the chat. You guys are staying fairly well right now, and we'll continue to do so throughout the rest of the evening. If we were to see any second round of storms, that is occurring right now for you guys. Y'all are already pretty much out of it, as just some lingering moisture sitting around and some rumbles of thunder out just north and south. But y'all continue to look good throughout the rest of the evening. Let's see if anybody else has questions. Shannon saying hello to somebody. Nice to see all y'all hanging out in the comments. But yeah, again, I think we're going to wrap this up. We wanted to come online just in case any of this went severe. And in the next 2 minutes now, we're going to see those special weather statements further on south for the Delta expire. We have not seen any more get extended further on downstream. That is a great sign. So hopefully we can see that continue. But yeah, let's take off these storm reports because they're getting a little bit too hectic now that they were all put in at one time. Justin said, go to sleep time, especially with a tin roof. Oh, that sounds amazing. I've stayed over at some friends' houses that have had a tin roof, and I've listened to the rain. You can't beat it. That's like the perfect sleeping weather, especially if you have one. Let's see. Yes, so somebody's asking, the storms in Water Valley headed south aren't severe. Yes, we're dealing with some of those storms and kind of rumbles around the area, but everything is sub-severe at this moment. We're not even seeing any special weather statements for the storm up here. We are further down here, and as you can tell, this looks a lot more unimpressive than what is happening further up north. So I'm really not convinced by any of this, but it did look a little bit, I guess, enticing, or like it was trying to earlier, which is why we wanted to do a quick update. And again, for anybody still tuning in, so sorry for seeing that second notification saying that there was a severe thunderstorm warning. We were seeing one from earlier on that got expired. So yeah, we're continuing to look pretty good here heading into the evening. Anise saying thank you. Well, thank you for tuning in. It means the world to me, especially with it being 11:14. It's a lot more fun to kind of talk weather and keep you guys safe with y'all chatting with me. So I always love answering any questions you guys have. But it looks like all of y'all are having a great night, and y'all should continue to do so. There's no reason to be stressed out or anxious. We're going to have a great overnight time period. I know when we were tracking out the storms Thursday into Friday, I made it back to Starkville after getting my keys with Gabe coming to let me back in. And I watched lightning the entire way back as storms were still going on overnight, but not really severe. And I was able to enjoy some rain and rumbles of thunder drifting off to sleep. It's perfect sleeping weather. And that's the point of the night that we're at. Thankfully, we're enjoying that at 11:14 p.m. and not 3 to 4 a.m. So that continues to be positive. Somebody tuning in, looks like Ray asking, is Oxford good? Y'all are good. There is a storm kind of just south of the city, but that's going to continue digging further and further southeast. So you're probably hearing some of those rumbles and maybe waking up to it, and maybe a few flashes of lightning outside the window, but that's going to continue to head in the southeast direction. As all the storms have been today, that's going to continue to be the trend. So it's now 11:15. Those special weather statements have expired. Let's make sure we're kind of on the latest scan. We are, and everything continues to be well behaved. So Brittany, I know you were asking again about Amory. Do you think the storm in Water Valley will make it to Amory? Here's what I'll say. If it does end up making it to Amory, I just don't think it's going to be impressive. I think you're going to see a whole lot of that, and that's maybe just well, not maybe, it's definitely heavy rainfall, quite a few rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning, but we're really not dealing with hail, and wind gusts continue to stay sub-severe. So if you guys were to see that, it's going to be kind of that perfect in between of just great sleeping weather and some much needed rain without the severe severity to it. William asking, have there been any new named Atlantic storms? No, there has not. And I'm so excited to start talking about that tomorrow because we do have several disturbances out there in the Atlantic. But unfortunately, with how busy we've been here in North Mississippi with severe weather, we haven't really been able to have a normal broadcast kind of talking about everything. So tune in tomorrow, especially during the 6, 9, or 10, whichever one. If you want to do all of them, feel free to do so. I think we can start talking about hurricanes. We can do that during the 6 o'clock tomorrow. I've been wanting to do so for a while. Unfortunately, we couldn't today. I know somebody else was tuning in earlier this week asking me about it, and I said I would this weekend. So we'll discuss that coming on up tomorrow. But speaking of that, I think we're good to kind of wrap up. Greenwood, y'all are asking if y'all are good. Y'all could see maybe some more of these heavier downpours kind of make its way closer towards you guys. But again, everything that we're seeing here is sub-severe. We are not dealing with anything intense. We're just kind of dealing with showers and thunderstorms. I just went live in case any of them did end up going severe, and they did not. So, Nikki, you said you should catch a ride on the hurricane planes and get us some inside info. I have been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do that for so long, and I don't know if being a meteorologist in the media would help make that possible, because I'd love to make like a package or something that we could air during our news segment. I think that would be awesome. So I will have to see if I can get in touch with the hurricane hunters. I don't know how the rules are on what they're allowed to fly people into, what credentials you need to have, but I'm going to figure out what it is so then I can try to get them, because that would be great. Joy asking, are you an MSU grad? Yes, I am. I graduated this past May 14th on my Gigi's birthday. So it was a very, very special day. She's what got me into weather. So it was kind of a great kind of, I guess, bow on top at the end of my weather education and beginning of the journey as I'm working here, trying to keep you guys safe and updated. So yes, I'm a Mississippi State grad. I still have several friends kind of finishing up their last semester or two, or doing grad school right now. So still keeping in touch with all of them. And a bunch of my other friends have since kind of dispersed across the country, keeping their respective people safe. So they're a great group of friends. I could not have asked for a better class to graduate with. So I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Looks like Faith's in the comments saying, have a blessed night. You as well. And I hope all of you guys have a blessed night. Y'all continue to enjoy. Again, this is perfect sleeping weather. I'm looking behind the scenes. No new special weather statements have been issued, so storms continue to behave. I know you're asking, are we all good in Cleveland, Mississippi? Y'all are good. And Matt, he is enjoying some much deserved time off. Of course, he's never here during the weekends because that's my job, and he needs some days at least to get some breaks because he just works nonstop. So he is enjoying some much deserved time off, and thankfully I've had Gabe and Maggie, Miss Emily, everybody working behind the scenes helping to make sure you guys are best up to date. Matt's been keeping his eyes on everything, and we're doing good. So he's enjoying some time off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Justin saying thanks. All of you guys enjoying y'all's night. So we're going to wrap it up here. Again, great sleeping weather. It's going to be a great rest of the night. We'll keep our eyes on it. I'll still be up here for a little bit to be ready to go live in a moment's notice, and I'll keep my eyes even on radar throughout the rest of the overnight period. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of the night, and I'll see y'all later on tomorrow. Of course, download the Mississippi Live Weather app if you haven't done so already. That's where you get these notifications every time we go live, and unfortunately, even that one that I sent out a little bit too ahead of schedule, thinking there was a severe thunderstorm warning, and thankfully there has not. We are staying sub-severe. So make sure to download the Mississippi Live Weather app if you haven't. We appreciate all the support you have given us. It means the world to us, and we always want to make sure to give you our best. So thank you all for the comments, the feedback, everything that works well, what doesn't, what you want added. We hear and appreciate every one of them, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of y'all's night.
At Vibe Aesthetics and Wellness, we believe confidence isn't just how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.